Welcome back, everybody. What I'm gonna do now while the others are working on the fence is I'm gonna try servicing some equipment. Get this one done, and then I have this 2675 and the 6150 to do. So what I'm gonna teach you right now is how to not get hurt when you're working on a piece of equipment. Then what you do is you play Farming Simulator and let your siblings do the work.
Why did you get this oil plug to come out?
I don't know, it's your problem. I'm making hay. Come on, get it done now.
I'm trying!
Try harder. Harder, faster.
No! Come on, get out!
I hope that skit was funny for you. But I'm gonna service this now. The others took off. They're gonna go mow under fence. Anyway, got everything here. Got the filters for the skid loader here. We're running AMS oil in the skid loader, but that's the only thing that we're running that in. I guess that's what my grandpa ran in it for years, and from what I understand, from stories that I hear, Dad has seen already where they switch to AMS oil. So like they would have had a regular, mobile or whatever oil, and then they switched to this AMS oil and it's blown out engines, or blew them up for whatever reason. I don't know why, but that's why we just keep running the AMS oil. Then everything else we're just gonna do, I don't know, whatever Dad gets, 1540, just kind of a standard over everything. We'll see how many gloves I go through. Not sure if these are exactly the right size for me, but whatever. I tore up my hand a little bit yesterday on the Hundreds hood, but it's pretty good now. There's still some spots that I can't really touch properly, or they will hurt. So just got to take it a little bit easy there. All this stuff should have been done like 3 months ago when we had 100 hours on since the last oil change, but now we're pretty much like 50 hours past everything of operating hours. So now we'll change them once we have some time, and it's like way too late, but oh well. There, I'm not sure how it's gonna squirt out. We'll have to get that. I at least have a shade tree to work underneath. I took the miniature sickle bar mower 2.0, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a hedge trimmer. We call it a sickle bar mower because that's about what we use it for. But I trimmed up some of these branches up top here, so it's a little bit nicer to work. Don't hit my head on branches. So I got that filter off. That's the 1068 Napa Gold. So it's this one. That's the filter we need. Right there. I ordered these yesterday. Dad brought them home, and now we get to put them on. And what you do is you take some used oil and go right on your seal there, right there. Go around a few times. Make sure everything's good and clean. Need a grease rag for that. Clean this good. Do not want dirt inside your engine. That's the whole point of cleaning this. Just spin it back on. There. Then what you want to do is you want to put the hours and the date on, one or the other at least. We like putting both on. It's good if you can do both so you know exactly what's going on. This machine has 1120 hours on it right now, and you can use a marker or nail or whatever. I'm using a pick to scratch it in. That's pretty good. The oil's still draining, and I changed that filter, so I'm gonna change the fuel filter once. These are fun because then you got to prime the machine and everything. Got my other one lying here on the other side. Just gotta And I'm wearing gloves on this because this stuff stinks really bad. Diesel fuel. Very stinky. That there. This thing's probably gonna fill up before long. We're not as out of date as I thought with these filters. They were done 7/25/22. Hour wise we are late, but over the year we're maybe it's been a year plus maybe 15 days or whatever, 12 plus 30, 31, I don't remember, something like that. So it'd be like 18 days, year and 18 days, so it's not too bad. But I did not change the hydraulic oil, just the filter. Now I just need to let this finish draining. Then I can fill it back up with oil. But that's been draining for a long time. And it's gonna continue draining till it's empty. Well, I made a mistake by not running the skid loader enough. I think that's partially why it's taking so long to drain. I mean, this black thing's pretty well full, but that's still coming out pretty decently yet, so we'll just let it sit for another, I don't know, I've been laying here for 10-15 minutes probably, just waiting on it. I got everything else changed. As soon as that's done, I can close it, put oil in it, and this thing's ready, except for greasing, which I don't have a battery for the grease gun here, and I think I need to rebuild the tip on that. So, I'm not gonna grease it right now. And I don't really want to start another project like the 2675 or the 6150 in between. But I could have probably almost changed one in between here. I kind of like working outside. This grass doesn't hurt my knees like the concrete does. But I do not like the wind. I do not like the wind because that'll blow everything all over the place and make a mess. That's actually what this box is doing here. Keeping this from blowing all over the place and making a mess. Oh well, we'll just sit here. Still sitting here. Sky is still draining slowly. And the wind is blowing it all over the filters and stuff. Oh my. Oh well, we'll just sit here and wait till it's done. While that's draining, my battery on the GoPro is starting to die, so I'm gonna plug it in. Got the battery charged up a little bit, and also did some editing. That's the nice thing about editing on your phone, because you can just lay here and edit if you have your stuff ready. That's still dripping. I wonder if it's not a lot of it's in the tube now. Push it down, push it, lock goes out, but that's it. So I think I'm gonna go get a drink, close that up, and fill it up. Finally ready to put oil in the engine. Ready to go down through there, down in that tube, into the top of the valve covers. And then I think I have about almost 8 quart of oil to put in that I need to put in. That's what I have here. But yeah. Also, did you know this is a Kubota engine? This would have been made long before Kubota would have made skid loaders, but now they make one of the best skid loaders in the market from what I understand. I never ran one, I don't know, but they say they're one of the best, and they're very, very popular. But they made an engine for Bobcat back in the 90s. In the Bobcat skid loader. This was the good engine in these skid loaders. The 751 with the blue markings, if I understand right, had some for other engine. I'm not sure. It was some for odd engine, but these were the better ones. We actually ended up with a Kubota, which is what we want. So Bobcat knew what they were doing back in the 90s when they put in a Kubota. Let's start its spritz in here a little bit. See if I can get this cleaned up quickly before it starts raining on me. Halfway done. 4 more to put in. Okay, looks like I got 1 quart too much. It's kind of spritzing out here, raining a little bit off and on. But skid loader should be able to run. I didn't change the hydraulic oil because that all looks good. Just changed the filter. Now, hopefully this thing runs, because I changed the fuel filter, so there's probably some air in the system. So I'm going to start it up, let it idle for a few seconds, and probably speed it up, so that way if it does start misfiring, it has the RPMs to continue running. Now, the moment of truth. I was afraid of that. The fuel, I need to bleed the air system because I changed the fuel filter, and there is bleed the fuel system because there's air in it. That's what it guaranteed what it is. It's probably running or starving for fuel because of that. Yeah, well, what a surprise. I was hoping it wouldn't do it, but I didn't get lucky this time. Well, I killed the battery trying to bleed the fuel system. So now I need to bring the charger over. We'll set it up so it can charge. So for a while now, this belt has been squeaking in here, you know, running, screeches, kind of unhandy. Anyway, so we pop up the cab and set it up, check on it, and I look in there, and tensioner pulley, or actually this has the alternator on it for the tensioner. That was flopping around a little bit. Okay, well, I wonder if that isn't broke the bracket. We replaced this a year ago or so. And so we pop it up because this is where you can see it better. Yeah, I'm not sure that that's supposed to be like that. This whole
supposed to stay like that too.
I'm not sure. This top bracket here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it is completely snapped off. And it's a wonder that that belt is even on, and that it's been staying on for the past, do you think it's been 2 months since this is squeaking? Probably 2 months that it's been squeaking, and somehow it's stayed on the whole time. That just blows my mind. Hopefully it stays that way till we can get another one or that one fixed. We might have another one, I'll have to check though. Okay, we did a bunch of work to this. Dad replaced the muffler. And we also took the alternator out. We're gonna take that to a machine shop and try to get him to put bushings in. That way it doesn't flop around and break again. Dad greased the skid loader, checked oil on that little doohickey thing back there, and then we need to check oil on this in the front yet. But it's supper time, we're gonna clean up. We're gonna go in and eat. A couple more tools to put away, and this is my video to remember where I put these. Where did I put them? Right there, right in the center. Help me remember that.